Taking notes, so vital. But most students who do it haven't learned a very simple rule. The first moment you get after a class, ideally right after the class, you should sit down with your notes and expand on everything you jotted down. Give it depth, flesh it out, okay? If you even wait to go home and do it a couple hours later, you'll have forgotten some of your own notes. Well, that's a wasted note. But if you take the moment right after class to flesh it out, you now have a little more detail. Odds are at night, you can still recollect it. That will be a powerful addition with only about a 5-minute time investment per class. That is a good trade-off.
Elon Musk had always been a fast mover. When he had met actress Talia Riley, he knew he wanted to marry her after only spending 10 days together. The couple married in 2010, but in 2012, things weren't going so well and they divorced. However, they soon remarried and seemed happy for a while. But by the end of 2014, Elon had filed for divorce again. This time it stuck, and the pair went for their separate ways.
If you want to buy a house, don't wait till you have all the money. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying this morning? Start the negotiation tomorrow. All things are possible to him that believe. If you are believing God for a husband, don't wait till next week. Believe God for this week. For all things are possible to him that believes. If you are believing God for a car, go around tomorrow. Look for the one you desire. What things soever you desire, when ye pray, believe that you shall have them, and you shall receive them.
You can trust in me. So just call me whenever you're.
The first thing that I had to do in my life was not learn a new skill. First thing I had to do to get my life moving in the right direction was self-development. It is vital. It was vital for me that I improved myself and I could start depending upon me. I had to show up every day with some rituals, some disciplines, and start getting myself to trust me. Not trust others, but trust myself to do the right thing every day. One of the things that I started doing was beating the sun up every morning. I'm going to beat that sun up every morning so that I have the discipline and the control over my life. So I knew, hey, before that thing pops, I'm going to pop. I'm going to get out of bed, depend on myself, get up at the same time every day. And for me, that time, regardless of where I was beat that sun up.
Psalms 23:4 says this: even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I want us to notice something. The promise in that is not that you won't walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The promise in that is that God will be with you and that his rod and his staff will comfort you. And so friends, if you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, if you're walking in the wilderness, if you're having sleepless nights, if you're lonely, if you're cold, if you're afraid, that doesn't mean that God is not still keeping his promises, that God is not still good just because the situation is bad. God's there. He's with you. He's the strength in that moment. He's your power in that moment. He's so, so good. And so the last person you want to get mad at in this moment is God. God's your friend in that moment.